All right, can y'all hear me? Hello, hello. Maybe, maybe not. Hello, is anybody there? Yes, yes, you can hear me. Okay, good. Sorry, we were just getting She Shed all set up on her Facebook. She'll be in a minute. Hello, hello, hello. That's so fun. You're all like, I'm so-and-so from this app. That's so funny. All right. Let me get this. Y'all there? All right. Let's see if this is working. Now we're just waiting for She Shed. Let me copy the StreamYard link. I'm not going to get my foot caught under the desk again. Oh, hello, just me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Hey, She Shed, did you make it in here? All right, if you guys are in here, don't forget to like, please. Look at you. You did it. Okay, now, She Shed, I'm dropping the StreamYard link. Click on it. Hello, baby D. Did you want your camera on?
Michael and Michael.
Hello.
Did I do it?
You did it.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're here. You did it. That's it.
I can't see anything though. I need to
What do you mean?
go.
What do you mean you can't see anything?
Like, can I click on things and make it bigger or?
Well, in my screen?
Oh, I guess I can.
I don't know. Can you guys see what I have on the screen, the search warrant?
I can, yeah.
All right, and you guys in the chat can?
Okay, so it tells me that I'm in a show. Everyone can see and hear me, so hello.
They can.
Until your recordings are uploaded.
It's very small. Let me see. Does that help? Is that a little better? Yeah, because then I'll be able to scroll up.
Can we smoke on here?
No. But you can turn your camera off and do it. Hence why I came in,
I just want to see how this works. I can turn my camera off
Yep.
and turn my
And you're
camera
still,
turn it back on, and I can.
you just muted yourself, so we can't hear you. Baby D, you're muted too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
know.
work out. Hang on a minute.
Look at us. It's like discovering a whole new world.
No doubt.
We're all like in our own little world over here in StreamYard.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to turn myself off a minute. I'm going to run, take my contacts out, put my glasses on, and then I'll be back while you're setting up.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Ivory, we can't see you and you're in the camera small. Ivory, we can't see you. You can't see me down here at the bottom? Is that better? Because you guys can see the screen. I'll make myself bigger when I'm not showing the warrant paper. You can see me? Okay. All right. Better? All right. Yeah, I'll make myself bigger when it's just me talking. Right now, I just wanted to, this is the warrant information I wanted to go through, and we can read it because it's really interesting. Baby D, you know you're muted, right? I just want to make sure that you know you're muted. And you could see the warrant as well. Perfect, Heidi. That's it.
Yeah, I know I'm muted, yeah.
Oh, just wanted to make sure. You're able to expand the video to full screen and close the chat while watching if it's on mobile.
Okay.
There you go. I can see comments, Kimberly. Yep, I can see everyone's comments. You found me, Rinda. Look at that. All right, where's Jamie? You know Jamie's over there listening to the 911 call without us. Over there on 911 call watch. Jamie. Hey, Faith. Hello, hello. All right, everyone's finding us. So turn phone sideways sometimes. That may help. Are you guys, I can shut the, let me see. Is it better to have the chat over there? No, maybe. Jamie, you know, Heidi, Jamie is listening to it without us. She got the goods and she's not sharing.
Now, how do we go about seeing the chat?
So if you should, I don't know. Here, I could put it on the screen for you guys.
Oh, I can't see that. What the hell?
Oh, what did I just do?
Let me see.
I don't know what I just did, guys.
Exit.
I got to stop acting like I know what I'm doing over here because I really don't.
See.
It's
Yes.
in the corner, the comments, but you've got to just, like, you know, like put your fingers sort of like that to big it up. It's really tiny.
I don't know
Can you
that I
see
can
it?
make it any bigger.
No, I don't think you can. Can you see it, Shed?
Yeah, I can if I zoom in on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
this is
right.
going to be this is going to be different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
if you zoom in or zoom out, you can see it bigger.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So wait, we got to wait for Jamie. Jamie's got the goods. I know she does. I know they're playing it right now. Where's Jamie? Tell her we know you got the goods. Come bring the
Okay.
goods.
Let me see if I can.
Oh, I got you, Yavi. Hey, Elizabeth. We all made it. Where's Sam?
So did you see where I put in hello everyone?
So no, that's a private chat for us.
Oh, okay. Never mind. That's
I've
all right.
never actually been the guest on a StreamYard, so I don't know what you guys see.
Oh, I
You're
got
back,
it.
Sandy.
I figured it out.
Hey, Donna. Hey, kid. Hello, Faithless. All right, everyone's just getting acclimated to the whole. Now we can see you, She Shed. We saw what you put in the chat. Hello, She Shed. I think this will be easier to stream now. And it's more accommodating. It's for people on YT and FB can. And once I get a key to the other app, we will hit that one up as well. Hello, Pamela. Hello, hello. I love you all learning together. That's great teamwork. Yes, look at that. It's like I feel like I just mastered something. It's really wild. She Shed, do you see Elizabeth? She said, hello, She Shed. Is She Shed still there? Did she leave us? Hey, kid. Melissa, hello, hello. Is She Shed still there? Did we lose her? Hold on, I got disconnected. Okay. Whenever my kid gets out of rehearsal, I've got a 45-minute drive home, plus gas station maybe, but I will be listening. That's okay. That's fine. Yeah, she has a black screen now. I think she got disconnected. She's trying to reconnect. Let me pull her out so she can come back in. I'm going to remove you, she said, and I'll repost the link for you. Look at me acting like I know what I'm doing. What? Am I more than just one eye over on FB, guys? You guys on FB, I'm more than just one eye? You there, she said? We do got this, Pamela. We got this. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? She said. She's here twice. Let me remove her here. You there? She's connected. I see it turning. There are better layouts that everyone can learn later to make it easier. I think just takes a little time in some tutorial videos, probably. Yes, probably. So I do notice though when I'm streaming to FB, it limits the way the panel can be, as opposed to YT. The panel has more options. I'm going to shower. We're all taking a shower with Heidi. All right, Heidi. Let me. You're up here twice, she said. You're so funny. All right, now you're up here once. All right, so we're in the shower with Heidi. We're in our little world over here. We still don't have Jamie. Jamie's listening to the 911 call. All right, guys. In the meantime, we can go through this. The search warrant. Let's see. Let me get to the good part.
Can anybody hear me?
All right,
Are
right
we
here.
frozen?
Yes. No, I can. Can you not hear me? She said, is your mic off? She said, we were hearing you. Were you not hearing us? All right, here we go. She's circling. Hello, can you hear us? She said, can you hear us?
Okay, I'm in.
All right, good. You can hear us. We can hear you. Everyone can hear. All right, let's
I
go through
learned
the.
I learned something. If you go enter the chat, it knocks you out of the box.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I can keep an eye on the chat because I have the chat pulled up here, and you guys can see it in the little corner.
Right.
All right, so we have, this is the affidavit for Daniel Lawler. I am the trooper with the Massachusetts State Police and have been so. And again, I just want to reiterate, guys, this is the affidavit and the search warrant. We're talking about the LIndsay Clancy case, the case where the mom and nurse ended up unaliving or killing her 3 children and tried to kill herself. And everyone is claiming there's a psychosis involved. And so we are now reading the affidavits and the search warrants. So here it says, I'm a trooper with the Massachusetts State Police. I've been so employed since my graduation of January. All right, we don't need that part. Based on the information hereinafter related as a result of my own investigation efforts and those of the other investigators involved in this investigation, I believe that probable cause exists that Cora, she was born in 2017. That's the daughter. Dawson, born in 2019. That's the son. And Callan, born in 2022. That was the youngest boy. Were the victims of crime of murder, a violation of Massachusetts general law. blah, 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 blah. Let me get to the stuff where they're talking about. On Tuesday, January 24th, 2023, at approximately 1811 hours, Duxbury Police Dispatch radioed all cruisers to respond to 47 Summer Street in Duxbury for attempted suicide where wife, who was positively identified as Lindsay Clancy, had cut her wrists, cut her neck, and jumped out of the window from the second floor. Duxbury police responded to that location and found Miss Clancy on the ground on the left side of the house. Located with Miss Clancy was her husband and the 911 caller, Patrick Clancy. As the police officers were assessing Miss Clancy, Mr. Clancy entered the home to check on his children. Duxbury Police Dispatch radioed to officers that the husband, Mr. Clancy, was in the basement and something was wrong because his children would not wake up. Officers then heard extremely loud yelling and entered the home, responding to the basement. In the basement, police officers located Mr. Clancy and the family's 3 children, a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and an 8-month-old infant. The 3 children, who were positively identified as Cora, Dawson, and Callan, were all located in different areas of the basement on the floor, not breathing and unresponsive. All 3 children were transported by EMS to Beth Israel Hospital, where Cora Clancy and Dawson Clancy were both pronounced deceased. Now, I do know that Callan, the youngest baby, it was a few days later when he was pronounced deceased. Miss Clancy was transported by EMS to the hospital. Callan, the youngest baby, was med-flighted to Children's Hospital in Boston. On Tuesday, January 24th, at approximately 1929, Trooper Rabbit arrived at the emergency department. Trauma 1. Callan Clancy was located in Trauma 2. However, he was med-flighted to Boston Children's Hospital. At approximately 1948, Trooper Rabbit spoke with emergency department Dr. Tenorowitz. Dr. Tenorowitz stated that he tended to Dawson Clancy upon his arrival at the emergency department. Upon arrival, Dawson Clancy, that was the oldest son, was in cardiac arrest. He stated that he had been told that Dawson had an exercise band tied around his neck prior to being transported. Doctors stated that Dawson Clancy had signs of strangulation, particularly petechiae on the sides of his face. The doctor stated that Dawson Clancy had a bruise to his right knee and an old bruise on his right shin. The doctor declared Dawson Clancy dead at 19:28 hours on the same day. On Tuesday, January 24th, at approximately 8:02, Trooper Rabbit and Trooper Ashley Fiella observed Cora Clancy in an emergency department. Cora, which was the daughter of the LIndsay, was located on a hospital bed. She was covered in a white blanket and had medical devices protruding from her mouth and left ankle. Cora also had an AED pads on her chest and a neck collar around her neck. Cora also had a gray and orange pajamas partially on her body, which had been partially cut off. Cora also had what appeared to be a bruise to the inside of her right bicep. Her hands were bagged by Trooper Fiella. Cora Clancy was digitally photographed by the same trooper. She was later moved to the morgue to be picked up.
Oh, you're joking.
On Tuesday, January 24th, at approximately 2010 hours, Trooper Rabbit spoke with Dr. Kaufman. Dr. Kaufman tended to Callan Clancy, that's the youngest baby, upon his arrival. Dr. Kaufman stated he noted no specific injuries besides Callan Clancy being in cardiac arrest, and he was in critical condition prior to being med-flighted. On the same day, Trooper Rabbit spoke with Dr. Michael Snyder. Dr. Snyder tended to Cora Clancy upon her arrival. Cora was also in cardiac arrest. She had ecchymosis and bruising around her head, eyes, and neck. The doctor stated that Cora Clancy had bruising to her chest, and he stated most likely due to medical staff performing CPR. He stated that he pronounced Cora deceased at 19:28 hours. On the same day at 20:31 hours, Lieutenant Lance Mello and the other 2 troopers were in trauma 1. Dawson Clancy was located on the bed. Dawson Clancy was located beneath the white blanket and had a Johnny draped across his midsection. Dawson Clancy had medical devices to his chest, leg, AED pads placed on his chest, and tubes protruding out of his mouth. He was then photographed. Let me see. So Officer Josephine stated that he arrived at the front of the house at the same time as Officer Hall. Officer Josephine stated when he arrived, he noticed 2 vehicles in the driveway before he went to the right of the home, and Officer Hall went to the left, trying to go to the rear of the home. He called him to the left of the home when he got there and located Miss Clancy on her back with blood in her mouth. Officer Josephine stated as he was going to the left side of the home, Mr. Clancy was on the left side and walked past him and entered the home. Officer Josephine stated as he was assessing Miss Clancy, police dispatch radioed something about the home's basement before he heard extremely loud screaming coming from the house. Officer Josephine stated he entered the home through the rear sliding door, which was already open. Officer Josephine stated he entered into the kitchen, then took a left to get to the staircase to the basement. Officer stated Mr. Clancy was still screaming. Officer Josephine stated he went down to the basement stairs and turned right. Officer Josephine stated the basement was divided into a left and right side. The officer stated Mr. Clancy came out of the far room and stated she killed the kids, quote unquote. Officer Josephine stated he entered the rear room and believed he observed the 2-year-old laying on his back, unresponsive, and was blue and purple in his face. Officer Josephine stated he believed he saw a bruising on the child's neck. The officer stated there was blue resistance band next to the child's head. The officer stated he grabbed the child and ran him up the stairs and out the front door into an arriving ambulance. Officer Josephine then stated he returned to the basement and turned left this time. He stated he observed the family's 2 other children on the ground unresponsive, both having life-saving measures performed. The officer stated the rooms to the right in the basement appeared to be a weight room style room and an office, and the area to the left in the basement appeared to be a living room area with couches. Officer Josephine was unsure of the layout of the basement because he was focused on the children. That's wild. So I was wondering where the bands came into play. This is really heartbreaking, Michelle. It really is. But I was wondering where the bands came in, what made her grab the bands, but there was a gym right there in the basement, so that made sense. Now it makes sense. Like I was wondering why she had picked that to be the weapon. I want to get to the part where they interview the father of Cora. Okay. On Tuesday, January 24th at 24:40 hours, Lieutenant Santos and Trooper Rabbit conducted an interview of Patrick Clancy in the family room of Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital. Patrick Clancy was identified as the spouse of LIndsay Clancy and the father of Cora, Dawson, and Callan. The interview was audio recorded, and the following is meant to be a summary of the interview and not to be taken verbatim. Patrick Clancy stated that as he has been married to his wife, LIndsay Clancy, for 6 years, they have 3 children together. Patrick Clancy stated at the end of September of 2022, LIndsay Clancy stated that she was beginning to get anxious prior to the return to work at Mass Gen as a labor delivery nurse. He stated that LIndsay Clancy went to a psychiatrist, who he identified as Jennifer Tufts, and was prescribed Zoloft. Patrick Clancy stated that LIndsay Clancy also saw another psychiatrist, who he identified as Rebecca Gelada. Patrick Clancy stated that LIndsay Clancy was also prescribed multiple other medications, including Valium, Trazodone, Ativan, Klonopin, Prozac, and Seroquel. Wowzer. Patrick Clancy stated that LIndsay Clancy would take as many as 4 medications a day. However, she would take them as prescribed. He stated that LIndsay called the restaurant 3V at approximately 5:15 p.m. the same date for takeout food, and Patrick Clancy went to pick up the food. Patrick Clancy stated that he had also stopped at CVS and purchased laxatives for his daughter Cora. Patrick Clancy stated that he arrived back at the home at his residence and he noticed the whole house was quiet. He stated that he went upstairs to his bedroom and his bedroom door was locked. Patrick Clancy stated that after he got into his bedroom, he saw blood and the window open, so he then ran downstairs and outside and located Lindsay Clancy on the ground. Patrick stated that when he located her on the ground, outside it appeared that she had slit her wrist and possibly her neck. He stated that he then called 911. Patrick stated that the police then arrived at the residence. He went to the basement where he located Cora and Callan in the main living room and Dawson in his office. Patrick Clancy stated that all three children had workout bands tied around their necks. Oh, I didn't know that they were actively tied around their necks when he found them. Patrick Clancy stated that he was home all day with the exception of when he left the residence to go to 3V and CVS. Patrick stated that Lindsay Clancy stated that she had been having suicidal thoughts as well as thoughts of hurting the children. That right there is concerning because if she told him that she was having thoughts of hurting the children and herself, I agree with Jamie at this point. Why would you leave her alone if she stated that? Now, I don't know that she stated that same day, but I don't know. That's a big red flag. He clarified that she had communicated that she was feeling this way at the end of December. Patrick Clancy stated that Lindsay had reached out to her psychiatrist, Jennifer Tufts. Patrick stated that Lindsay had self-admitted herself to McLean Hospital from January 1st through January 5th. He stated that Lindsay had an amazing marriage and got along great. He further stated that they tell each other they love each other 10 times a day. And at the end of the interview, Mr. Clancy consented to have his face, clothing, and hands digitally photographed by Trooper Ashley Fayella. All right, guys, what do you guys think about that? Hello?
Can you read that one more time, what she stated?
What she stated?
Yeah.
That she was having suicidal thoughts and thoughts of wanting to harm the children.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
And
that would be.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's really odd to me that, but again, this is January 24th it happened, right? He said that to her at the end of January. And so he was working from home. He was home all day. And he left for 20 minutes. I mean, what, maybe 45 at the most? I mean, I don't know if I hold him that responsible. I mean, you just can't lock yourself down in a house. You think that someone's doing fine. I agree, Pamela. Why didn't he take the kids with him? Hop in for a ride. I don't know. I just feel like those are some serious red flags. Like she stated she was having thoughts of harming the children. She stated that she was having thoughts of harming herself. And I don't know. I just feel like that's an awful lot of red flags. You stated it to doctors, you stated it to everybody, and man. So this is where everyone is thinking that she wasn't psychotic because she planned it. But I want people to remember you can be in psychosis and plan a murder. Like, that's a thing.
But how often had he heard that nothing happened too?
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Here it says they were able to review Apple Maps and calculate the travel times for Mr. Clancy's travel. Stated it takes approximately 3 minutes to travel from the house to CVS. It takes approximately 8 minutes to travel from CVS to 3V. And then takes approximately 9 minutes to travel from 3V back to their house. How many minutes is that, guys? 3 minutes. 3 plus 8 is 11. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. He was literally gone for 20 minutes. Like, it's not like he was gone hours. Is the lady still coming tonight, Ivory, that said she wanted to speak on when she was in psychosis? Brooke, are you in here anywhere? If not, I can message her because I would really love to hear her perspective, having been in a psychosis before. I will reach out to Brooke and see if she can speak on it. And then they got the access to the video surveillance. They watched him on CVS, and they watched him in the restaurant. And so this goes. So the video shows Patrick Clancy enter 3V, which is the restaurant, through the front door at 17:54 hours. Patrick Clancy glances at the takeout table, then waits in line behind a couple for a brief moment. While waiting, he looks at his cell phone. After the couple leaves, he approaches the hostess desk to pick up his order. He pays for his order at 17:55. That's like a minute and a half. Mr. Viscarella informed the hostess Patrick Clancy paid with an American Express card. They printed a copy of the receipt. The receipt showed the order for 2 items was placed at 17:10 hours. They were able to show us the video, but he stated he would need to contact an outside vendor to obtain a copy of the video. On the same day, at approximately 21:40 hours, they visited the CVS pharmacy. During the investigation, they learned that Patrick Clancy entered the CVS after leaving his house the evening of January 24th. They provided them access to the surveillance video system. They confirmed that the time and date of the video was accurate. The video shows Patrick Clancy enter the CVS through the front door at 17:32:32 and walk to aisle 20. Ms. Krause informed us aisle 20 is where they keep the children's medication. Patrick Clancy spends only a few minutes in the children's aisle before exiting the aisle, walking back to the registers. As he does this, just prior to exiting the camera frame, Patrick Clancy appears to be utilizing his cell phone. Patrick Clancy arrives at the register at 17:36, 4 minutes later from when he walked in the door, no longer utilizing his phone. Patrick Clancy exits the store through the front door at 17:37, 5 minutes he was in there, and turns right. Ms. Krause informed us there was no exterior camera showing the side of the building. Ms. Krause mentioned to us that a female had called the store asking if they had children's laxatives prior to Patrick Clancy entering the store. That's interesting. That's interesting because was it her? Is Brooke here? Oh, there you go, Brooke. Take your time, Brooke. But I know that people were interested in seeing if you were able to speak on your experiences. No pressure. If you want to speak, that's fine. If not, you're good. But take your time with the kids because I know how that goes.
So I got you on Facebook here
Mm-hmm.
where I'm at, but I found a way to log in on my YT to be able to chat in the chat.
Not look at she shed becoming the all-time professional over here. That's so funny. All right, let me see. Did we ever find Jamie, who's over there on? So she called the CVS right before he got there to see if they had laxatives. Or no, let me correct that. We don't know if it was her. A female called right before he got there to see if they had children's laxatives. He did go to CVS first, right? That's wild. Or did he go after? Let me see. No, he went after. But that's crazy. And literally, though, it's psychotic. You know what I mean? Like, it really is psychotic. Because in her mind, she might have been doing 2 things at once. She called before he left the house is what I thought. I mean, it's possible. It was only 5 minutes away, so that's possible that it was before he left the house. Because, yeah, I mean, the CVS was only a few minutes down the road. But still, that's just wild to me. The surveillance video. All right, let me see. Let me go here. All right, on Tuesday, January 24th at approximately 22:50 hours, while at the police department, Trooper Mello conducted a recorded interview of Kyle Carney. Mr. Carney, and I think Mr. Carney is a friend to them, right? Is their friend? So Mr. Carney stated that he met Pat Clancy in college and they have been friends for approximately 10 years. He states that they speak just about every day, and he actually spoke with Pat earlier this morning in a group text. Mr. Carney stated that the group text was with other friends and primarily discussed work. Mr. Carney informed me that Pat Clancy currently works for Microsoft while he works in the finance sector. Mr. Carney stated that when he spoke to Pat earlier in the day, he seemed to be his normal self. Mr. Carney informed me that on Sunday, January 22nd, so 2 days prior to this happening, Pat Clancy, along with LIndsay and 2 of the older children, had visited their house for dinner. While there, LIndsay seemed fairly normal, mostly quiet while on her phone and keeping to herself. He was actually surprised she was there due to Pat's statements about her health, and he didn't know she was coming that night. He stated that overall everything seemed perfectly normal, and this was the first time they had seen LIndsay in a couple of months. When asked why they had not seen LIndsay for such an extended period of time, Mr. Carney stated that LIndsay was having medical issues. Trooper Mello then asked him to expand on these medical issues, and he stated that Pat told him that LIndsay was about to go back to work and was having anxiety. She was prescribed medications, which were, in Pat's opinion, not working. Pat went on to tell him that LIndsay was prescribed more medication and thought she was now addicted, and he thought that she was now addicted to benzodiazepines. Pat told Mr. Carney that LIndsay was having issues with her medication, and she was mostly anxious and not depressed. Pat felt as if LIndsay was not overly anxious and the anxiety level was normal and not severe. According to Pat, LIndsay had joked about talking to a therapist about her anxiety. Mr. Carney stated that Pat mentioned LIndsay was suffering from withdrawals from the benzodiazepines approximately a month and a half ago, and that this is when he began to open up to both Mr. Carney and his wife, Sarah. Pat told Mr. Carney that he was really concerned about the withdrawals and said that LIndsay had the worst side effects possible. LIndsay was also prescribed more medication for sleeping. When asked if LIndsay had any close friends in the area, Mr. Carney stated that besides local mother groups, she did not have many friends. Due to this, Mr. Carney informed me that along with his wife, we're going to start to engage one-on-one with LIndsay in the near future. Pat also stated to Mr. Carney that LIndsay's family had been in Duxbury this past weekend to support her. Mr. Carney stated that he, along with his wife, went to college with Pat and they send their children to the same daycare. It was during one of these daycare drop-offs that Pat looked as though he was having a rough morning, and he opened up to Mrs. Carney. Pat had communication via text message with Mrs. Carney on January 5th, 2023 in regards to LIndsay and the treatment and medication she was receiving. Mr. Carney stated that Pat felt as if he needed to get more involved with her treatment due to the fact that LIndsay was going by herself to a psychiatrist for a while and he felt that she was prescribed too many medications. Mr. Carney informed me that Pat never voiced concern of LIndsay hurting herself. The interview was terminated at this time. That doesn't seem odd to me, though, that he doesn't tell his friends that the wife wants to kill herself, but that he expresses concern with the medications and the situation. Like he's kind of giving his friends a little bit, but not too much. You know what I mean? So she called. Yeah. It just doesn't sound odd that he wouldn't over divulge too much information, because then we all know there's a stigma on mental health. So I feel like that's not odd to me that he wouldn't give all of the information. I don't know. On Wednesday, January 25th, now this is the day after, at approximately 0300 hours, Trooper McKelligan sought and received a search warrant. Can't anybody be a Smith or a Harris or a anymore? They got to have these names that I'm like, bleh. Um,
Well, at least it did show that he wanted to become more involved in what was going on because he saw something wrong.
he was seeing the red flags. He knew something was wrong. Absolutely. So my whole thing is they did a lot to get help. I don't know. I mean, she was going to doctors by herself.
But that seemed
Yeah.
like that was his concern, where he
Yeah.
said, I feel like I need to go more because they might not have the medications right.
Yeah.
Like something's not right.
Yeah. He was definitely seeing the red flags. Um, this is where they talk about investigative. This is where they talk about the cell phone and the blue tablet. Located on the kitchen counter near the sink was one tablet with a blue case with a visible model number. Investigators are aware that Miss Clancy and Mr. Clancy both had access to this tablet prior to the three murders. Investigators are also aware that Miss Clancy previously used her cell phone to conduct internet searches, utilize notes, and social media applications. Located on the nightstand directly below the open window was a large blood covered kitchen knife. This knife was secured by Massachusetts State Police. Located in the basement was a brown notebook. Located in the kitchen cabinet was a separate multicolored notebook. In both notebooks, Miss Clancy listed medications she was taking and at times suicidal expressions and thoughts. In these notebooks, Miss Clancy also expresses that she confides in friends, one named Sue, but does not list last names in the notebooks. These were her journals. Investigators are also aware that Miss Clancy used her cellular telephone and her journal to document her mental state and her feelings about her children, in addition to keeping track of her medications and researching ways to kill, which means that is reasonable to conclude that Miss Clancy would have used all formats and tools available to her, including a tablet. On Wednesday, but it doesn't say what date. What date did she search that? Is what I want to know. It just says that they see it in the tablet. They don't say what the date is. And so I'm really curious to know when she searched that. On Wednesday, January 25th, let me see what happened that day. So Cora and Dawson Clancy, small bruises on both sides of both legs. Small bruising to the back of the right leg, not present on Cora. Small bruising on right arm, ligature around the neck, redness of the head, petechiae in the face, petechiae inside of eyelids, petechiae inside upper and lower lip, heavy lungs, skeleton x-rays were negative for trauma, no evidence of blunt force trauma, brain bleeds or skull fractures, no soft tissue damage in back, neck muscles are negative for hemorrhaging, their hyoid is intact, eyes have hemorrhaging, eyes did have hemorrhaging, positive optic nerve. The cause and manner regarding the deaths of both Cora Clancy and Dawson Clancy are currently pending. Wow, that's wild.
So they got her on 8 counts. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
I did. So originally they got her on 8 counts. 8 counts of the following charges: murder, strangulation, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. How is that? How are we getting 8 counts out of that?
I don't know. That's why that just caught my eye, and I was like, hold on, 8 counts.
For 8 counts of the following charges. Who? I don't know how that's worked. I don't know. That one I need to have explained to me because I don't get the 8 counts. Anybody in here understand that? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Anybody understand why she would have 8 counts
Mm-mm.
when there's
No.
only 3? Right? You would think that like maybe a murder, and I'm not seeing the 8. I don't even see the 6, because you're charging murder, you're charging aggravated assault, like all of these things would be 1 for each. So I would think it would be 3 counts of each, no?
Even at that, that would be 9.
Yeah, I don't know where the 8's coming in, because it sounds to me like they're saying, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it sounds to me like they're saying 8 counts of each of these charges. 8 counts of murder, 8 counts of strangulation, 8 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. But where the hell did the other 5 people come from? And I don't think when you try to unalive yourself that they charge you with
Okay.
that.
Hold on. Maybe if you add the, okay, 8 counts of the following. So murder would have been 3. Strangulation would have been 3, so that would be 6. Assault and battery with a weapon would have been 7, and the criminal compliant would have been the 8, right?
No, unless one of them, all right, 3 were murdered. So that's 3 charges. Strangulation, 3 of them were strangled. So that's 6. Assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Who did you assault? Oh, well, assault, that's 9, right? Because 3 of them were strangled with a weapon would be the exercise band. Thank you guys so much. So that's 9. Where I don't know, I'm not. Well, oh, you know why? Because murder. Callan is still alive at this point. He did not die yet.
Okay.
So it was 2 charges of murder, 3 charges of strangulation, and 3 assault and battery. He was strangulated and he was assaulted, but he had not died yet, so that wasn't a murder charge for Callan. That makes sense to
Okay.
me.
That would
All right.
make more sense.
All right. I thought I was seeing things when I saw that. I was like, that didn't make sense.
No, I saw that and I was like, 8 counts? Like, where are we getting 8 counts at?
Yeah. Um, I'm They provided a copy of search warrant for the hospital staff records. Can you do that?
Say that again?
So it says right here that the hospital was provided a copy of a search warrant for hospital staff records. Can a warrant pick up hospital records?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got a
That's
funny
interesting.
story I could add to that.
Go ahead, shoot.
So the reason I know that that can happen, I knew somebody that faked a beating. We don't have to watch our words on here, do we?
No, I don't think
So
so.
a lady was running an apartment complex, and her and her brother got together and decided, hey, if you hit me and make it look like I was beat up. And then she ended up going into the hospital to have her tubes tied. They robbed the apartment complex, but they were able to get those medical records to find out that she wasn't beat up. She was in there for a procedure. And
Oh
so
wow,
that was how she ended up getting caught robbing the apartment complex.
that's so funny. I did not. I
So,
guess I never. That's so funny. I never thought of that.
yeah.
All right. During this time, Trooper McDonald observed the following injuries to the body of Lindsay Clancy. So these are her injuries, Lindsay's injuries. Multiple lacerations from a sharp object to the right wrist. Possible scrapes on backside of hand around the knuckles on the right hand. Left wrist, multiple lacerations from a sharp object. Left hand, possible scrapes on backside of hand around the knuckles. Left bicep, she had 2 bruises. The neck, multiple lacerations to the left and right side of the neck, deep cut on the right side of the neck. Her left leg, possible light bruising to the thigh. Right leg, possible light bruising to the thigh. Trooper McDonald was unable to observe any trauma to the back of Lindsay Clancy because of a spinal cord injury. Registered nurse Rochelle Amity advised Trooper McDonald that she was the original nurse for Lindsay Clancy when the patient arrived at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Nurse Rochelle stated that she did not witness any trauma to the back of Miss Clancy. Nurse Rochelle further explained that on January 25th, this is the day after, at approximately 0:30 hours, Lindsay Clancy became unresponsive and was worked on by hospital staff and was considered stable at 04:30 hours. Nurse Rochelle advised Trooper McDonald that Lindsay Clancy was unconscious at the time and was unable to hear their conversations. Once the digital documentation was complete, Massachusetts State Police chemist conducted external swabs from the left hand fingernails and the right hand fingernails of Lindsay Clancy. Nurse Megan Collins provided Trooper McDonald with a list of injuries which were documented by the hospital staff on nursing progress notes, summaries of injuries which had been uploaded to the ACES case report. And this is the summary of Lindsay Clancy's injuries. She had a C1, that's cervical spine burst fracture, bilateral non-displaced C4 lamina fractures, T5 to 6 comminuted tricolumnar fracture with a 14 millimeter T5 to 6 anterolithiasis with multiple osseous fragments within the canal, which is largely obliterated. In other words, that part of her thoracic spine was just pretty much in pieces. T4, spinous process fractures, malalignment of the right T5 through 7, lumbar T6 through 8, TP fractures, malalignment of the R T5 through 7, LT7 through 8 costovertebral junctions, hemorrhage tracking into the upper retroperitoneum from caudal posterior mediastinum and thoracic paraspinal soft tissues. Acute, mildly displaced, mildly comminuted fracture of spinous process T4. Small hemopneumothoraces, right first rib fracture, superficial lacerations to the anterior neck, and bilateral wrist with associated thyroid edema. So she was not doing good. She was extremely hurt. And I do know that she is completely paralyzed from her sternum down. So from here down, she is paralyzed. That's wild. That's really wild. So she didn't jump out of that window. She was meaning to be dead. Like, there's no doubt about it. This woman had it in her mind that she was going to be dead. Like,
So
I know
are they
people,
saying there was nothing on the, no marks on the back of her?
yeah.
So she would have just went face first.
No, I think she was found lying on her back. I think she was found lying on her back. Because earlier on it said that she was found lying on her back. I don't know if somebody rolled her over. It didn't say that. I mean, everything in her chest and back was pretty much, I mean, it was all snapped. I just don't see how she didn't have bruising. Yeah. I mean, she had a lot of fractures. Yeah, that's a lot. She was hurt. On Wednesday, January 25th at 1900 hours, the search warrant was completed. January 29th, Trooper Rabbit attended the autopsy of Callan, that's the baby, at the office of the chief medical examiner. The autopsy was conducted by Kimberly Springer. The autopsy was digitally photographed by Trooper Foley. Callan Clancy was observed in a white body bag on top of the autopsy table. Callan was dressed in a diaper and a gray and white blanket. Oh man, just the image of a baby in a diaper and a blanket just
Aw.
yeah, even right now. Callan Clancy had medical devices and tubes attached to his mouth, nose, and legs. Callan Clancy had abrasions to both sides of his neck. Dr. Springer noted abrasions to Callan Clancy's neck and petechiae all over his face. Springer stated that she did not find any hemorrhage to Callan Clancy's neck during the autopsy. Springer stated that she collected Callan's eyes and brain for further analysis by medical staff. Dr. Springer stated that the final cause and manner of Callan Clancy was currently pending further analysis. Again, they keep talking about these tablets. Tablets are widely used today, and as such, they contain such information about its user, with many tablets having the ability to send and receive calls, short message services, and multimedia messaging. In addition to calendars, contact lists, and call history, cellular phone contain hundreds of digital files that can be used to corroborate or discount the user's statements. So yeah, they're trying to get access to all of her tablets and email and social media. Her call history, her contact list, voicemail, email messages, instant messaging, internet web browser history, saved and deleted digital images and videos, third-party apps, and information contained within those apps. They keep, I guess the blue tablet is the one where she was Googling how to kill. Yeah, this is where they are talking about. All right, here we go. A tablet with a blue case. This tablet with a blue case was located on the kitchen counter near the sink. Lindsay Clancy uses notebooks, which were discovered during the search warrant, to log her expressions and thoughts, and could possibly use a tablet for more comprehensive log. Investigators could use this tablet believed to belong to Lindsay Clancy in order to obtain her contact list and messages to identify Sue and other friends she confides in. It is known to me and other investigators that individuals will use their tablets to Google or research means to commit murder, social media, text messages. That's wild.
That is crazy.
So yeah, I mean, it's not like they were talking to people. People knew that she was struggling with her mental health on medications. Like, what more could these people have done? It wasn't a secret. Nobody was hiding anything. They had 11 warrants. Yeah.
Who had 11 warrants?
There's 11 warrants for her to search all of the things. Yeah. That's a lot of warrants. But they weren't trying to, you know what I mean? They were, it's just crazy to me. Because I think that people think that just because she was planning it and she was Googling and she was doing all the things, and I'm not saying those kids aren't a victim at all. I'm not saying it's not heinous what happened to them, but I can't personally see her criminally responsible. I feel like everything she did fits in the mold of psychosis. Now you know what I want to show you guys? Even in the warrants, it talked about her. She didn't have a lot of friends, but she was on these Facebook groups or these social media app groups. Let me see. If I can pull these up. Can y'all see this? on, let me see if I can share my.
How you doing up there, baby D?
All right. What did I do? Move me out of the way. Okay. Can you guys see that? Let me see if I can make this. Can I make that bigger? So this is an I'm Not Alone postpartum depression, anxiety, and rage. This was a Facebook group that she was in. This is her post from November 8th, 2022. Now, again, this whole thing with her started in September. Remember, she was going back and returning to work in September. She started experiencing a lot of anxiety. This is November, where she says, looking for advice on medications for postpartum and anxiety and postpartum depression. I tried Zoloft, but after taking it for a week and increasing to 50 milligrams, which to jump to 50 milligrams, I had extreme insomnia and also felt like it was worsening my depression. And I had no appetite whatsoever, so I had to stop taking it. Has anyone had similar experiences and found a different medication that worked? Also, right now, I feel the only medication that works for me is Ativan. It has the perfect effect of decreasing my anxiety and making me feel happy. It makes me feel like myself again, but I know it is not a long-term solution as it is addictive. Any advice on an alternative that has a similar effect? So now think about it. Here's this woman who's a nurse herself, was reaching out to doctors and nurses and people, and now she's here looking for people's personal experiences on what can I do to feel better and to feel. I mean, she was reaching out everywhere, guys. She wasn't just talking to doctors and nurses and admitting herself in the hospitals. I mean, she literally was going on groups on Facebook trying to be like, hey guys, what did you try that worked? Because I need to try something. Like all of these, they're just such cries out for help to me. You know, it's like you can't deny this woman has tried everything, including social media, and this isn't the only one. So let me show you this one. As I'm over here being some kind of StreamYard genius.
Hey, we're going to learn to get. I got two devices going. I have a delay on one, but that's okay.
All right, can you guys see that?
So we can.
Let me see if I can make it bigger. Hold on. That's as big as I make it so we can read it. Hello, lovely parents. Attachment Parenting for Littles. Lindsay Marie Clancy. This is May 5th, 2021. I'm looking for some advice, solidarity, ideas. I'm truly finding my 19-month-old to be the most the most difficult human I've ever encountered. I mean that with all of the love in my heart, but I honestly cannot make it through a day without getting so frustrated with him. He's not my first child, so not to compare because I know that every child is different, but just for background, this isn't my first rodeo. Every single thing with him is a battle, and it has been this way for a while since he was maybe 8 months old. I really try to pick my battles and only do what's completely necessary, but I mean everything. Getting out of his crib in the morning, he's going downstairs, changing his diaper, getting him dressed, getting him in his seat to eat, getting him in the car seat, getting him out of the car seat, putting his jacket on and shoes to go outside, having him come inside when it's time, going to sleep for his nap, and at night he fights me every step of the way with all of these very normal daily activities. It constantly feels like I have to force him to do these things, which feels so wrong. but he is always fighting me and crying about doing these very normal things. So right here, I feel like she has a difficult kid already. You know what I mean? So that adds to the stress, right? That adds to all of the things she was dealing with. And she found the one boy difficult. Why do some comments show up on the right and others show up by your boxes? I have no idea, Michelle. We did not find Jamie. She said, did you message Jamie? I'm also very biased. I dislike a few of the police involved. Heidi, do you know these police? Are you from this area, Heidi? My heart just hurts so bad for this family, all of them. I agree. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me find you in here. Let me show you guys another one. Can y'all see that? And again, I got this from Reddit, so credit to them. I was so against it as well with my first. We never did any sleep training at all. And she didn't sleep through the night ever until 15 months. And even after that, it was still hit or miss. When my second started waking every 45 minutes the entire night, when he was 3.5 months old, I knew he needed to help him sleep. I knew we needed to help him sleep better because we couldn't survive like that. We didn't start sleep training until 4.5 months. So again, this goes back to the second child being, oh, Jamie, that's you? This goes back to the second child being difficult for her. She was complaining about it, but it definitely looks like she was using social media as her friends, right? As her village. So when when people are on social media and they are trying to talk about their concerns, like that's why you never know why people are there, right? That woman was there to find her village. There you go, Jamie. She said, do you know you're not here anymore? I'm going to put this in here for She Shed too. I think she might have gotten kicked. We found Jamie. You guys are so funny. You did get kicked. I put the thing back in the chat. So the link is back in there for you and Jamie because apparently we found Jamie. Jamie's just an hour late to the party. And this is the journal entry, guys. Hold on. Can you put it here? I did. Oh, there you are.
I don't know what happened. I wanted to take a screenshot of that message.
What message? The one I was showing?
Hold on, let me turn that one back down. Yeah, the one you were
I'll
showing.
yeah. Do you want it now?
No, I just took a screenshot with my phone, and when I
Oh, I'm
did,
going to send it to you.
you can't do that. It'd drop you down.
No, I mean, like, if you don't need to write the second, then afterwards I could just text it to you.
Yeah, we're fine.
Don't kick yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know,
Jamie,
but Jamie better come with a recording.
Jamie, how's our 911 call doing?
I'm not coming with a recording because there isn't one yet.
Oh man.
Seriously?
They're not going to play. They're probably not going to play it until tomorrow. I mean,
Call.
it looks high and low. They're probably not going to play it according to court TV. They probably won't play it till tomorrow.
Damn.
But you know what I found out?
What?
No, I mean, how long can you be in psychosis?
there is no specific amount of time. You can be a very short time or a long time.
Because I seen that she wrote in one of her things about her children like 3 months before.
I was just gonna pull that up. Yeah. So what
That she's saying that she felt that she could not take care of the youngest the baby the way she took care of the other ones. So she was.
Hold on.
There was
I'm
a
gonna
word
pull
that she used that she just didn't care for her other two children. I don't know. I forgot the word.
This is it. This is the screenshot. Can y'all see that?
No.
I'm not touching it. I'll get dropped.
This is when October 2022.
October 3rd, I believe it was.
This was the statement from her journal. I think I sort of resent my older children because they prevent me from treating Cal like my first baby, she wrote, according to Sprague. And I know it's not fair to them. I know that. I was feeling depressed last evening when Cora and Dawson came home from school. I know it runs off on them. So we had a pretty rough evening. I want to feel love and connection with all of my children. In these journal entries, Clancy wrote she had SI thoughts in December of 2022. She also told her husband that she had SI thoughts and on one occasion considered harming their children. This was from her journal. She literally said that right there, she was feeling a disconnect to her kid. We all know what that is, right? We don't need to be medical anybody's. As women, we know what that means. And, already she was feeling that, and then told the husband that she was feeling like she wanted to harm herself and the children. So there's a process to it. You're not, the depression starts getting worse. The medications, you could be in and out of psychosis. You could be in for a long time. You know what I mean? Like there's different stages of psychosis. It's not just one definition. Like, oh, you're only in it for 20 minutes or 2 days or, you know what I mean?
I don't know. The stuff that I was listening to, it was so sad because they were talking about the 911 call, but they weren't playing it. But I guess he went down in the basement and they had the exercise bands around their neck.
Yeah,
but by the time the police came, he had taken them off.
Yeah.
And I guess the one on the baby, she like tied it in a knot to make sure it wouldn't come off. And I was like, oh, I can't. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying what she did is, it's horrible. But do you believe, right here in December, she's showing signs of postpartum depression. She's saying she's suicidal. She's saying she wants to hurt the kids. Right? In December, she was showing signs of like, this is getting serious now.
Yeah, they claimed that some of her friends knew. There was people that knew. Why couldn't they get this woman help?
Exactly. So the husband was telling the friend and the wife that, yeah, she was having issues. Didn't necessarily say she was suicidal, but was saying she's on medication. She's going through this, that, and the other thing. So,
and they think that he read her journals, so he knew.
Oh, I didn't see. I did not see that he read them.
Yeah, I just saw that on Crime and Law or something. I just watched one of those and said that he read the journals, so he knew. And I guess her defense, they're trying to use bipolar and the other one you just said.
Psychosis? The postpartum depression?
Yeah, psychosis. But that's the first time I heard the bipolar, so I don't know.
Well, bipolar is just a form of depression, right?
Well, you have your highs, you have your lows with that.
That's what that's really what it seems to be. You know what I mean? And yeah, could it all lead to psychosis? There's so much of this that could have led her into psychosis or the accumulation of it all.
But the way that it seemed like she was talking, it's like she was doing these things, but in her mind, she knew that they were wrong. But it's like she had no control over herself.
That's exactly it. That is exactly it. Brooke, are you here? I'm hoping Brooke is ready soon. Hopefully she can talk about it because that's exactly what you just said. You have no control over yourself.
But
Like
I don't know. I just find, I don't know. It's confusing to me because how do you know in your mind you know it's wrong, but you're still doing it? That's what throws me off a little.
but so at the time she was carrying out an order from a voice because in her reality she had to. She didn't have a choice. You just said it. She didn't have a choice.
And then she
You
even
know,
told them that as she was choking these poor children, I don't know, I have a sadness for these children, but anyway, that
oh,
she
me
was,
too.
telling them to stop fighting, to go to heaven, and all this stuff. She was telling these kids that she was doing this.
How do we know that?
I just heard it on the crime and law. The prosecutor was talking about it.
Honestly, that may be very true. Like I'm just curious. I didn't know. I haven't seen that. That's why I'm asking. Not that I think that didn't happen. I
Yeah,
don't
so you
think
never
it's
know. I mean,
schizophrenic, but schizophrenic is a form of psychosis, right? Like it's an alternate, you know what I mean? Like it's really hard for people because they can't understand the mind. But Brooke went into a psychosis. Here she is. Brooke, are you there?
yeah, it is hard.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
So, can you, if you don't mind, I think that when it comes to psychosis, people have, it's really hard for people to have an understanding of how it's a different reality and how you're still thinking clearly, but not. So,
so the one time I was in psychosis, or I've been at like the edge of psychosis before with mania. I have many mental health diagnoses. But with psychosis, mine was financial. Like I ruined myself financially, honestly. And it was like I remember what I did, but I don't remember how I justified it, but I know I did. So it's kind of like you're in autopilot, but you're not the one in control.
oh, that, I like the way you explain that. Autopilot, but you're not the one in control. So, what were your thoughts like? What was your struggles while in this psychosis?
So going into it, I have OCD, so I obsess over intrusive thoughts, which is terrible. So it was like I was able to, I guess, identify and tell my husband, like, I'm saying this as your best friend, not as your wife or the mother of your children, but we like I'm having these intrusive thoughts and I can't stop thinking about it. I would never do this, like me myself, but I can't stop obsessing over them.
Oh, so
And
yeah, it's like
then,
an obsession. Okay, I understand.
yes, and then um when the psychosis hit, it was pretty much the opposite of those intrusive thoughts. I was very outgoing, not very much so not myself. Um and it was but before that it's like a steep fall almost, and you can, and like Lindsay did, she was like reaching out for help, trying to get help, and but once you get to the point of no return, it's just straight downhill, and then it can either be, it's almost in an instant you're not yourself.
So now you just said, Brooke, that you weren't yourself. You said for yourself you were very outgoing, which is not your
Mhm.
normal, um, like personality, right? I assume. Um, so when you were in this psychosis and you were um, being very outgoing, it looked normal to, and I use the word normal lightly, please. But it looked normal to people because people can be outgoing. It didn't look like a symptom, but to you, it was a symptom because you knew that wasn't who you truly were.
Yes, that's how it was. And it was like I was, when my twins were in the NICU, they were in there for 3 months and 6 months. So the psychosis lasted for, I think it was 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I was at the NICU every day, and out of the psychosis, I hate to say this because it makes me feel bad, but I did not like going to the NICU because it was very triggering for me. But when I was in psychosis, I was there every day. So to them that didn't know me, it was like, oh wow, she's coming more often. She is really involved. She doesn't even want to leave. She's spending hours and hours and hours here. But me, normally, I would go for 2 or 3 hours a day. So to
Now,
them, it looked normal and better, but that wasn't me. It was kind of as if I didn't have the anxiety anymore. It was almost like I wasn't afraid to be there, which I guess could be good, but in my situation, it wasn't because of what I was doing when I wasn't at the hospital,
which
if that makes
was
sense. Like I would spend a lot of money. And it was on stuff for my kids. So I would be able to justify it. But
right,
like that's so I understand that, but then at the same time it's like okay, but they didn't really need these things and I know we were struggling financially. So why did I do it? But I know at the time I thought I was thinking it through. So I remember doing
and-
it, but not the thought process that justified it.
right.
But
So,
it was never that in the sense of hearing voices or thinking that my kids were possessed or anything like that. I've never experienced that, which that is honestly my biggest fear as someone who relies on psych meds and knows how dangerous the change in medication can be. And so it wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't that severe because it genuinely ruined my life, like credit wise, financially. But it didn't take another life.
right. Now, when you were in this state, did you know at the time that you were in this state? Like, you knew you were different and not your normal self, or no?
I knew leading up to it, but then when I was in it, I thought that that was just me now, and that
Right.
was the new reality.
Man, that's now, you had depression and anxiety leading up to the psychosis?
Yes, ma'am. I have many diagnoses like OCD, BPD, borderline person or yeah, BPD, borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, all of it pretty much. My doctors say it's like a mixed personality disorder because there's so many that play a factor into it. And then I was also postpartum, had a very traumatic delivery at 27 weeks. So it was just a lot.
And you had this with your last baby?
Yes, ma'am, with the twins.
You and you have other children, right?
Yes, I have two older children.
So do you think just that too also played a part in all of it? The stress of just you have these babies now, and then there's other kids. Like, did everything in life play a role in it?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And like her journal entry that's on the screen right now, I can relate to that. In the months, or not months, in the weeks leading up to the psychosis, I can remember like resenting my older children because I couldn't spend time with the twins in the NICU. So I really feel for her in that aspect because I don't want to say it's normal because it's not, but it's like I get it because I've felt that. And don't get me wrong, like I love my children. I would do anything for them, but it was also that I recognized I had other responsibilities that made me upset when I would have to go get them from school or do something for them that took me away from the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the same towards Bailey and Levi, like the twins. It would be like I resented them for being so needy and then not being able to give all my time to Avery and Sterling anymore. And that has taken a lot of therapy to be able to recognize that that is a feeling that happens. However, we're going to reframe how we think.
Right. So now, how did you, when you were in this psychosis, this psychotic state, how did you know to get help? Did you know? Did your husband know? How did you get out of it? How did you get the help that you needed to get out of that mental state?
Um, I don't really remember what event caused it to stop, but I remember um that I had like a full-blown panic attack and realized what I had done. I guess in the sense of financially ruining everything.
Wow.
And it was like I came back. It was autopilot was done. I came back and I was aware of all of the money I had spent and I was like, how did I do that? And like how did this make my husband feel, because he's the breadwinner. So it's like it was like how could I have rationalized that and made him feel like his work didn't matter because I was spending money as he was making it, and even more than that.
Wow. Wow. I am so sorry that happened. And I appreciate you sharing that. That's difficult.
Yes,
Yes,
and
thank you for sharing.
like when I say that psychosis is my biggest fear, like I truly mean that, because I know it can be either very steep fall or it can be a switch, and you only have a few warning signs before it happens. And if those are not addressed properly, like that, then you're just you're left to fall, I guess. Um, and I know me, I would never hurt my children, but it's the thought of when you're in psychosis, you are not you. You are not controlling your body. Like, yes, you look like you sound like you, but it's not you in control. So you do things that you would never do when you're thinking rationally because you're unable to think rationally. However, you can plan like events, you can be outgoing, and in psychosis, it's almost as if you are planning things without knowing what the end goal is going to be. Like you
So
don't know what's
you
coming
said
next.
in your psychosis, you said you knew that there were money issues, right? Like you
Mhm.
understood, like, hey, we got financial issues. I'm still going to spend the money. So you knew that it was wrong to spend the money, but you were able to justify it in your mind. You were able to make the bad situation okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I, like, to this day, I don't understand how I did that. And like we're still recovering from it. And it was awful, and it like I promise you she lives with probably an insane amount of guilt. Like when she attempted to unalive herself, I can almost guarantee you that she did that to try and be successful because she could have come out of it, realized what she did, and then she was like, I can't be here anymore.
So can I ask
Okay.
you a question, Brooke? Oh, I'm sorry, Ivory.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
At the time that you maybe didn't realize that you were in psychosis, but at the time that you were spending the money and you were justifying it, was you feeling any guilt at that time or only guilt after when you realized you were in psychosis?
Um, it
No.
was like little flashes of guilt after like I clicked pay now or something. It would be like little flashes of guilt. But then as it progressed, there was no guilt and it was almost as if it all built up and came out when I had the severe panic attack at the end when I came out of it. It's like it
But
all bottled up.
right, but at the time you were still feeling guilt.
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
So I mean, I can't say how she was thinking, but
No, no,
based
no,
on
no.
my
I was just curious
experience,
with you.
yeah, with my experience, it was like little flashes of guilt, but it was like, well, I had to do it.
Well, yeah, I
And
think the ultimate goal for her was what I was just listening to before I came in here. Her ultimate goal was to, I don't know what you can say on here, but unalive herself. But the voices in her head told her she had to unalive the children first before she can do that.
Right. So her
mhm.
ultimate goal was to unalive all of them, right?
Yes.
So now, do you remember, Brooke? Do you remember everything during the psychosis or just bits and pieces?
Really just bits and pieces. Like I could not tell you what I bought. Um, I did journal everything that happened in the NICU. But reading through that journal, I'm like, how did I not know this? For example, Bailey had a brain bleed in the NICU, and it wasn't until her discharge day, 6 months later, that they were like, yes, she needs a follow up MRI for the brain bleed she had. And I was just like, brain bleed? Why are you just now telling me this? And then I looked in the journal and I wrote down that she had experienced a brain bleed. So it was like, I knew the, how do I word this? Like, I knew the vague events, but not the details.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's so interesting how your mind just takes over on its own.
Oh yes, it's honestly terrifying. Like I would not wish that on anybody.
Wow. So, can I ask you, what do you think about this situation? What do you think about the whole Lindsay Clancy?
I don't think that she should get life in prison or the death penalty. I believe that the guilt she lives with today is enough. I don't think she should be out in the public. However, I think that it should be some like mandated uh what is it, inpatient treatment. But I believe that it was a system failure through and through because if you like with my medications, I've tried nearly every antipsychotic, mood stabilizer, antidepressant, everything, to get to the regimen where I am now. And it's always been you start at the lowest dose and then you monitor your symptoms, go up if you need to, and then if it gets worse, it's okay, we're going to go back down for about 2 weeks, depending on the medication, of course. And then we're going to take you off of it, but we're going to add this to stabilize you in the meantime because we know this one works, although it's not ideal. But for her, she wasn't in a situation where she could be safe for them to stabilize her. And not just her children as well, obviously, because of what happened, which is absolutely terrible. And I can't excuse the heinous acts. However, I I just know myself, I would not do what I did if I was thinking rationally and sane.
That's
So
interesting.
I believe it was a total system failure. I think that because another thing with me switching medications or changing doses, it's always been if you are awake for more than 24 hours, you need to go to the hospital and they will keep you for 72 hours at least to monitor you. However, you're looking at probably a 2-week stay just to stabilize you. And now my psychiatrist is absolutely amazing and everything, but it honestly seems like her doctors just kept prescribing, not doing a safe titrate down. We're gonna supplement while we go down. We're gonna do everything. And something that really stuck out to me was the Ambien they gave her. Because
Yeah.
yes, that helps you sleep, but at the same time, you can also it's like you're asleep, but you're doing things. You're asleep, but you're awake. And like my mom, for example, she was on Ambien. She would paint her nails at night. She would drive places, and she had no recollection of it. So that one really stood out to me as like, I understand hadn't slept in days, but at the same time, you need to watch her after she takes it. And I mean, I'm not a
Right.
medical professional. I'm just someone with a lot of health issues.
Yeah,
So
I had that issue with my dad. I had to sleep downstairs in the house because he would get up in the middle of the night, fully clothed, ready to go, get his keys, and go outside at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I had to get him back in the house. That was scary. Very scary. I don't like that medication. I don't like it.
oh no,
Yeah.
it's terrifying.
Well, you've been
Mhm.
in Discord with me when I was taking Ambien, Jamie.
Was I?
Yeah, sometimes I'd be there, sometimes I just go sleep.
Well, yeah, you go to sleep tired. You didn't tell me you were taking Ambien.
Yeah, I was on Ambien.
I mean, come on. I don't know. Oh, Lordy.
Ambien
No.
can be really dangerous if you're not ready to go to sleep. Like I literally tell patients, if you're going to take Ambien, take it in your bed. Take it while you're sitting there. Don't be up moving around. Don't try to fight it because the that's when things start
Yeah,
happening.
but
That's
look at that case with that guy that drowned his wife in the pool. He got
yeah.
off because of the Ambien because he did go to bed and take it, but he got up and he went outside and decided to drown her in the pool.
Isn't that the same thing as like psychosis almost though? You don't know what you're doing, right?
Well, yeah, the Ambien I don't like that medication. I just don't. Ugh.
And that's not the only one. A lot of those medications, just mixing them, man, it's wild. I feel like I agree with Brooke. The system failed her. Absolutely. I feel like she did everything. What else could she have done to get help? Someone named something that she could have done that she didn't do. You know what I mean? There's nothing else that she could have done. She said what she had to say to doctors. She told them the truth. She was, looking on her own on social media, trying to get other people's experiences, and you know,
I think she was in such a, what's the word I want to use? I don't know, hurry or whatever, because she knew something was wrong with her. But then again, like I said, she was seeing like what, 2 different doctors in person and then one online. They all didn't know what was going on
Right, but
because she
I
was
would
so urgent to find help for herself. And so I think that's where a lot of things messed up because she started taking these medications from, you know, you're taking medications from 3 different people.
right, but
And
the majority of the medications were from her main doctor. That was
well,
from the nurse Pilata and Dr. Tufts.
yeah, but
So,
mixing in the other stuff just didn't help her. I mean, nobody was able to stabilize her. You know what I mean?
but they didn't try. Nobody tried. There was no blood work pulled by her main doctor to check
Oh,
her levels.
I didn't know yet. That part I didn't know yet that they weren't doing blood work. I mean, why
Yeah.
wouldn't they? Usually the online doctor, well, they don't do that. I don't know why they should. They need to get better control of that. That system online. I just don't like the
Well,
idea of that either.
not even that, but when you're seeing a psychiatrist online and you're telling them I have feelings of wanting to hurt myself, I have this wrong with me, that wrong, the first thing they should say is, well, come in and see me. I need to see you. I need to lay eyes on you. You
Right.
know, really see you. What are you seeing through a camera? Can you tell if I'm anxious right now? You don't know if I'm tapping my foot, if my foot's sitting there shaking. You don't know if I'm sitting there with my hands like
Right.
you
That's
don't
why I
know
don't like the
everything
online
else.
things. I bet you I can go online right now and get anything I wanted because it just, I don't like the way they do that. They should stop that altogether. I don't like it.
It's extremely dangerous. And so I think that, again, I think the system failed her. I do believe that I personally believe that she was in a state of psychosis. Um, and I think that it's the people under not realizing that you still think in psychosis, right? You can still plan, you still understand and carry out functions. Like it's just you're living in this world where there's a false truth. And her false truth was that voice telling her to do what she did.
Now,
And I
how
think
old were all the kids?
5,
3
3
in 8 months.
months.
And was there a diagnosis for the 8-month-old, or was he just because he was 8 months old, she was having problems with him?
No, she was having problems with the middle child.
So the middle child, the first son was difficult for her.
Okay.
And the second son, she felt like she wasn't attached. She felt the disconnect. Like that, the red flag for postpartum depression is, do you feel an emotional attachment to that baby? You like, how many times have you all been asked that question? You know what I mean? Every time I had a baby, how are you doing with the baby? Do you feel like emotionally attached to the baby? You're loving the baby, like you feel nothing there. Like, has
Well, she
anybody?
was kind of feeling both ways because she felt she didn't have attachment to the older ones, and then she felt that she didn't to the younger ones because the 2 older ones were impeding her to spend more time with the youngest one.
Right, but it wasn't attachment. So she had so, and that's what's pulled up here. She had, and she felt like she didn't have an emotional attachment to the baby. Like you remember her stating that she had a force, like she was forcing herself to care for the baby. Like if you remember the paperwork we went through last night, she said I was forcing myself to care for the baby, but then there she was holding resentment. And resentment, you guys, resentment is deep. When you resent somebody for something, that's like a hidden anger, like a hidden, you know what I mean? Like there was an anger there. So there's just a lot of emotions happening all at once. Why don't I love this kid the way I'm supposed to? I'm angry at my other kids. They're making things hard. This baby's making things hard. You know what I mean? I got to go back to work. I have anxiety about that. All of a sudden, I want to kill myself. I'm telling people I want to do this. I'm telling people that. Nobody's listening. And again, she wouldn't have jumped around to doctors if the first person she told, hey, I feel like I want to harm myself, would have listened to her. Or, hey, I have emotional detachment to this baby, would have listened to her. I don't think she would have jumped around to doctors. She was jumping around because nobody was helping her.
Now, was she looking at doctor? Was she with a doctor after the second one? Because she said after, or the husband said after the second child, they started noticing, some of that. But it wasn't as bad until after she had the third child.
Right.
So I don't
Yeah.
know if there's anything in there that she was actually seeing a doctor after the second one.
No, as far as I know, I don't think she was. I don't think it was that bad yet.
So I have 4 kids. I have 2 older ones and then the twins. Um After I had my first Avery, I really I felt like I couldn't connect with her. Um and it was related to me having DMER, which is dysphoric milk ejection reflex. I was breastfeeding, and it was like I didn't want to feed her because of the emotions that that brought on. And it was just like I didn't feel like I could be connected to her until after I stopped breastfeeding completely. And because it was like, oh my gosh, why does she need me again? And then when I
Mm.
got pregnant with my second, I was on medication. I was on medication my whole pregnancy, and then on the day of discharge after I had him, I was like, listen, I experienced postpartum depression, anxiety prior, like with Avery, and I need to go up in my dose. So that's what we did. And then when I had the twins, which it was just like the snowball effect. It was, they were born at 27 weeks in a crash C-section. My water broke at 26 weeks, and it was just a lot. So it was almost as if I resented the twins as well as my older kids. And that was really hard for me to admit. And that's when we started exploring other medications that would hopefully help more. And then the medication switch is what I think triggered the psychosis until I got to a like stable dose that was therapeutic. And I hate to
Mm.
admit that. I really do, because I still feel guilty about it. But it's a very real thing that I feel like people don't talk about. And I'm not going to say it's okay to feel that way, because it's not. But at the same time, a lot of people do feel that way, and they need the resources and the help, and not shame to admit it, because you're going to feel shame, and then you're going to feel guilt and not want to reach out for help, because my fear was, if I tell somebody this, they're going to take my kids from me. And it's like, I do
That
love my
would be the
children,
biggest fear.
and
Mhm.
I like that is a true fear of mine, is like me saying the wrong thing, and then my children are taken from me. And even with her husband, it could have been, if I am brutally honest with him, it he could take the kids and he could never let me see them again. And that's when, in my situation, I'm thankful for the friendship that my husband and I have built our marriage on. And we can refer back to the friendship, instead of like, I'm saying this as your wife, or I'm not saying this as your wife or the mother of your kids. I'm saying this because you're my best friend and I'm scared.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always that stigma. Again, how many, are we as women and moms really honest with our doctors the majority of the time because we're afraid of what they're going to say? Are you able to take care of your kids? And then, you know what I mean? That's
Oh,
so real.
yes.
That's
And
so
it's
real. That's
like,
so real for people.
and like Sam was saying, I think it was last night, it's passive suicidal ideations. It's like, I would not, in that depression, it wasn't that I would do something to harm myself, but I wouldn't stop it either.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's
Mhm.
not talked about enough, because like last night you said that they ask, do you have a plan? And it's like, well, no, not exactly, I don't have a plan, but I still don't feel safe. But if they don't ask the right questions, then
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like it needs to be reformed altogether in the sense of like
it does.
you're not
I have a
asking.
question for you. So after you had the first child and you knew that you had this type of issue, did they have a type of plan with you by the time you had the second child?
Yes, I decided to formula feed from the start. I was
Okay.
because for me it's a I think it's a genetic thing where it's intense negative emotions with letdowns when you're breastfeeding. And and then I guess I associated my daughter with those negative emotions. So when I had my second, it was like, okay, I'm not doing it at all.
Right.
And then with the twins, with them being born so early, there was that pressure to provide my milk and pump and everything. So that probably also played a role in why it was the worst after them. Um, but it's a combination of things. So after with my second, I was like, absolutely not. Formula feeding from the start, he'll be fine. And then with the twins, it was like, well, they need your milk until at least I think it was 34 weeks gestation. So I pumped until they were 34 weeks gestation.
Okay. I see. Yeah.
And and it was like I knew that that was what was the most beneficial for them. However, I still hated it.
Right.
what a position to be in. Like, especially when you're struggling with mental health issues, where you're kind of you have to provide, right? You're being kind of forced in a way to supply this milk for the babies because that's what's best. But knowing that you always have that fear because you know it's a trigger, right? You know that's a lot. Wow.
Yes, absolutely. It was for me, it was a combination of a lot of terrible things. And I'm just glad that what I did was awful in the sense of like now I am in the process of bankruptcy, but I didn't take someone's life. However, I could see how it could go that way,
Right.
Mhm. Man.
which I promise sane Brooke, rationally thinking Brooke would not do that, but you're not rationally thinking.
Yeah. That's that's a good, not rationally thinking. That's a good way to put it. That's a good, like, you're still thinking, you're still functioning, but yeah.
And something that I have learned about myself is I have my rational brain and I have my emotional brain. And it's trying to find the balance between those two. But you can either over rationalize things or you can be overly emotional about things. And being overly emotional is where a lot of like outbursts come from for me, and then over rationalizing thing is where the disconnect comes for me. So you have to find middle ground, but if you don't have the tools to do that, it's really hard,
Right.
and you never know which side is going to respond.
Yeah. Wow. Man. I you know, I give I don't know how you do it, Brooke. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a lot. And I think that people really need to understand that these situations are really out there. You know what I mean? Like, there's such a stigma on. So I appreciate you coming up here and talking about it. It can't be easy at all.
Right.
Um, yes. But yeah, I don't know. I you can't I feel like there's nothing that can happen in this case that can change my mind that this woman wasn't in a psychosis and that the system didn't fail her. And I
Yes,
think
and
that people to see that they just have to have an understanding of what it means to be in a psychotic state, to be in psychosis, how you can function and think, but not really be there in a reality, trying to justify things and things don't mean the same. And you know what I mean?
yes, and it breaks my heart for her because I can't imagine the guilt she feels and how much she wishes that she was successful in her own attempt. And it it's awful. And I'm not going to say I know how she feels in that aspect because I don't, but I just know how I feel and I know that the guilt I have is all consuming. And I just I feel like her punishment has been given.
I
You know,
agree with that.
you had said before that you don't think that she should be put in prison, and I want people to understand what it means to plead insanity in Massachusetts. Now, she is pleading that she's not criminally responsible because of her psychotic state. That does not mean if she's found not guilty of the criminal responsibility that she walks away. That does mean that she gets put in, well, she's already in a psychiatric hospital. She is currently in one now and has been ever since. But that means that she remains in that psychiatric hospital to seek treatment. Now, Andrea Yates, you guys know that story. She has been in that psychiatric hospital for, I don't know how long, for years, for a very long time. And then at some point, when the doctors feel like you are better, controlled, and you're safe, and all of that, if that ever happens, then it goes to the judge where the judge reevaluates everything and says, this satisfies me. It is not the doctor's call. It ultimately ends up on the judge. After the doctors say, you know what, we feel she's okay, she's safe, she's not a danger to herself or society or anything like that. She's been good on the medications. She qualifies. It goes in front of a judge who then has to say, I accept it. The judge has to ultimately be the one to say, all right, you know what, we will let you out. All is good. You
I'm
know,
trying to remember what happened with her, but I know she did have the opportunity to get out, but she said she didn't
she
want to
doesn't
leave.
want it. She passes it up. She doesn't, she is able by the doctors to have that hearing with the judge. She's refusing it, Andrea Yates, because again,
Right.
you have to understand these people when they are in this psychotic, when they realize what they did, they're in their own jail in hell, so much worse than any human can put on them in their head. They have to live with, could you imagine doing it? Imagine waking up and realizing you did this. Like everyone stop for a second and imagine that you wake up tomorrow morning and now everyone's telling you you did this to your children. And you have that understanding of, oh crap, what did I do? And you have to live with that every day. You know, people are sitting there when they brought her into the courtroom. You see, everyone's like, she's flat. That woman is reliving all of this in her head. Like, I can't
Yeah,
imagine.
her lawyers tried to get the I guess the autopsy photos and the I don't know, what can you say on here? The red stuff stains and
Mhm.
the judge
You can
denied
say
it.
pretty much anything on here, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the judge denied it because her defense I don't know why they wanted to take those blood stains out of, didn't want that being heard. Um, as far as the autopsy photos, I think they have to kind of show those, but I think they don't want to hurt her more. I mean, they could always take her out of the room, but I don't know if that would be, I don't know how they would go about that.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, man. Like, I don't know. But again, that doesn't mean that she'll ever get out. If the doctors don't find her capable of getting out, the judge still has to ultimately be like, all right, we're there. And again, Andrea Yates is like, you got to wonder if the woman doesn't trust herself. It happened to
Yeah.
me once.
Oh, she
It
does.
happened to
She
me again.
doesn't. She
And when
doesn't.
you're in a normal state again, and you're back to yourself, you're like, this can happen at any given time. I could do this to somebody else. I would be afraid to let me out loose in society. I'd be afraid to be around people because I had no control of who I was when I was in that state. I can't stop it. So I'd be afraid of who I could become. It's like becoming the Hulk. Like y'all remember him? He like all of a sudden it just happened, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Crap, it was me." You know
Do
what I
we
mean? Like he
know
couldn't control it.
do we know if she remembers every detail?
Yeah, she does.
So as far as I know, that some people do remember, but not everybody remembers every detail. I don't know if she remembers every detail, but I do believe she remembers a lot.
Well, her defense lawyer was on one of the things that I was watching, and he said, like I was telling you, uh, she couldn't say why she put the babies in a knot, but she knew she did it.
Hmm.
And she went into detail on what she said to the kids as she was doing it. So she remembered all that.
And again, it's not like this woman's saying I didn't do it. Like she's telling everyone the truth. This is what I did. You know what I mean? Like
But
I
could
don't
Her
know.
you
thing, the
could you
first,
imagine what it's like to be sitting up there knowing that you did what you did and then having to relive it, repeat it over and over? It's like it won't ever end.
well, the
No.
first day that they did preliminary, they did it in the hospital. The first day was in the hospital where she was at.
Hmm.
And they asked her how she pled, and she said guilty. So the point of this is whether she is going to jail or a mental facility or whatever they're going to do with her. That's what this is all about, basically.
Well,
Right. So
yeah.
it's ultimately she's admitting guilt to doing the crime. She's not saying she didn't do it. What ultimately is happening is that she did it. However, I'm guilty. I'm not guilty by reason of insanity. I'm not guilty because I couldn't prevent it. I couldn't stop it from happening. And
You know,
so it's women that
with the blank
ultimately is
look with
criminally
the blank
responsible.
look that she has, it makes me wonder what it's going to be like when they put her on the stand.
Well, I don't know that they will, to be honest with you. Um, but I mean, think about it. Like she's got a flat affect, right? She had that before. It was noted that that's something that she had. Now, is the flat affect just due to the mental, psychological? Because she still got whatever's wrong with her, right? Ultimately, there's an underlying something wrong with her more than just a postpartum depression. And so, is
Right.
that
Yeah.
just her emotions, or is that flat affect a result of whatever the diagnosis is?
Well, I can't wait till tomorrow. The husband is supposed to be the first one on the stand.
So what time, Jamie? What time? I'm gonna stream it. I have to.
I don't know if they're starting in the morning, but I'm going to be on in the morning. Or
Yeah,
because sometimes they do other cases in the morning, whatever else they're working on. And then usually around, 11, 12, they start whatever one they're going to work on for the day, whatever, you know.
yeah. So I'm gonna. Yeah. So I will be on the watch tomorrow. I might just pop on and stream it, um, because I want to hear that husband talk.
I mean, from what I understand from him, from some magazine or somebody, he talked to one person once, and he told him, he goes, in the fibers of her soul, he knows that she's a good, loving person. All he wants for her is for her to get help.
Hmm.
So that's all I know for now from him until tomorrow.
Yeah, I know he supports her. I know he believes that she was in some psychotic state, right? Which
Maybe he feels guilt himself. I'm sure he does.
he has to, because I'm not going to lie, you're a little bit responsible, buddy. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but
Yeah, no,
you
that's
left
what
her
I can't
alone.
understand.
She
I mean, if
told
he
you.
knew and some of her friends knew and they knew this months ahead of time, I mean, just like with my sister, I put her in the darn car and I bring her to the hospital. I wasn't going to leave her at the house acting like that or being like that. I'm not for something to happen. I would find any way possible to help. I mean, I don't understand that part. Until we
Yeah,
hear more from him, I just like to know how that came about. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, she said to him in December, what was it, in December, that she had feelings of wanting to hurt herself. And the second you say to me, you got feelings of hurting yourself and somebody else. Like you can't be trusted at that point, right?
Right.
Um,
Well, he thought he could
and
handle it. So if he stayed home with her all the time, he thought he could handle it. Well, she found a way
yeah,
around it.
true, but not true because at the same point, what was his alternative? To do what with her?
I don't care. I would have brought my wife to the hospital every darn night if it was an issue. I don't care until somebody did something.
But they kept going back. They were trying. So I mean, like, while I feel like you left her for a half an hour, how dare you? Like you're responsible. She told you, she warned you. At the same point, like I can argue, but they did try everything. Like, what else could she have done? And you say that like I would just take them there and not leave. Like, that's not a thing. They will kick you out.
No, I brought my sister there and I said, I'm not leaving till you people figure out what's going on. I said, they just put her on new medication. She's only been on it for 2 days and now she wants to kill herself. So I'm like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And the hospital where I'm at, they have like, they call it the Pond House, but it's like a separate psychiatric type, where they hold them for either the 72 hours or the 2 weeks or whatever it takes to get them,
See, not all areas and not all hospitals have those kind of services either. I do know here we have separate psychiatric hospitals right next to the main hospitals. Our hospitals have smaller psychiatric centers and like smaller psychiatric floors, but we have main psychiatric hospitals all over the area. But not a lot of areas do have that. They have
right.
that one
And I
site,
think why they do it
maybe
over
not.
my way is because in my state alone, they only have one main psychiatric hospital. They closed all the rest. And that's the thing. Mental health today, I don't understand why they don't have more. Why are they
Me-
closing everything up? The hospitals can't handle it. The jails can't handle it because they throw them in
No,
jail too. I mean, it's sad what they do to these people. I mean, they're not getting the help that they need.
absolutely. We lack serious resources for mental health in this country, 100%. I mean, everyone try to call tomorrow and find a way to try and get a psychiatric, like an appointment, a psychiatrist, a counselor, anybody who will listen to you talk. I dare everybody to go try tomorrow and we'll come back here and how many actually got appointments. Because I can tell you, I have tried for somebody and they were like, yeah, sure, we have an appointment, you know, September 5th of 2027. And I'm like, well, that's not helping. It's like, it's wild. Like, shoot, I couldn't get into a cardiology appointment. It took a year and a half after my heart was shocked back into rhythm for me to get it. It's not even that serious. They don't take mental health that serious. I can just imagine how long it would take a person to get an appointment with a counselor or a
All I can
psychiatrist.
say is that I am blessed. I am very blessed. I have very good doctors because what happened to me when I had the septic shock, I got all the top doctors when that happened to me because none of them never seen it before, and I all ended up in a medical journal and everything else. But anyway, anytime I have an appointment, it's just one little thing that's wrong with me. They get me in ahead of everybody else. I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
I don't know how you do it, but I wish I had that. I knew that magic sorcery because, it's a struggle, especially around here. It's a struggle to get appointments in my area here where I'm living.
Yeah, because
And
I called the hospital and they told me to call the hospital for the appointments. I called them up and it would have been 4 weeks before I could have got this test done, right? And so I called the doctor up and I'm like, I can't wait this long for this. I mean, I don't know what's going on or whatever. So, he just, all right, I'll call you right back. All right, okay. Calls me right back. I was up in there the next morning. I'm like, what did you do? I'm figuring, well, they're doctors. I'm sure they're friends with somebody in there. I just don't know what he did for that to happen, and I was just blessed for that to happen.
So I'm going to tell everyone to lie initially. If you need psychiatric help and you walk into a doctor or a hospital and you feel like they're not listening to you, when they ask you, do you have a plan? You say yes and and then tell them no when you get in there. Get yourself admitted, get yourself the help first. That, for some reason, it's the do you have a plan? That's like, okay, we'll see you now. If you don't say those words, you're not getting nothing from anybody. That's the problem. It's those words, you have a plan. If that's what it takes to get you in there and get you the help that you need, say it. Like whatever, that's what's going to be.
Even with the VA, even with the
Yes,
VA.
yes,
Well, yeah,
that's
even like where I live, it's a going story. Everybody knows the story around here. If you're having mental issues or whatever, but you know you can't handle it, but they're all you have to do is say that you're going to kill yourself, and they got you in there. You have to go in
yep.
there and say that's what you're going to do.
Well, you can't even say that. You have to say you have a plan to do it. Because if you just say I'm going to kill myself but don't have a plan, then it's like you got a couple of days. It's not an emergency.
I'm sure they all figured it out because I was wondering how people were doing that. I'm like, you hear other people I couldn't get in, and they said, "Oh, they know the tricks of the trade because
Yeah,
they know they had this mental illness for years, and they know how to work the system to get in there when they need to get in there."
yeah.
It's
That's
sad
it's
though.
hard.
It's really sad.
You all reminded me of a story, and it's funny, but it's not funny. But there was one of my friends, she worked at the hospital in Norman, Oklahoma, and they have a psych ward on like the second or the fourth floor. Well, she was actually a nurse there, but in the break room, she made a comment. She said, "Man, on my way to work, I just wanted to run my car into the tree." Like she just didn't want to be at work. Well, one of those coworkers went and told somebody. They came down and they ended up handcuffing her to a wheelchair and putting her in the psych ward for 2 days.
No, it's true. They'll do that. I mean, when I was going through what I was going through, no kidding, 2 different hospitals, 10.5 months straight. That's how long I was in hospitals. So I came to a point where I just didn't want to be there anymore, but I knew I couldn't get up and walk out of there because I couldn't walk. So, I got mad at the nurse. One of the nurses came in the room and I got mad. I said, I just wish I wasn't here anymore. And I guess she took that the wrong way. 2 minutes later, I had 2 psychiatrists in my room. I'm like, please leave. She took that the wrong way.
You
Please
heard
leave. I
magic
don't need
words.
you. And I'm like, I really don't need you people. Please just let me deal with this on my own. I'm strong enough to deal with it on my own. As she took it the wrong way. No, and I couldn't believe it. I'm telling you, if it was 2 minutes, I don't know if they were right down the hall or what, but they were in my room and I'm like, oh no, no. Mm-mm. And they're asking me all these questions. Do you want to kill yourself? Do you want this? Do you want that? I'm like, please leave, please. That's not what this is about. And then I was getting mad. I was just getting mad at that point.
It's like, I just want to go home and I don't want to work and I don't want to be here.
Yeah, I said, I've been here long enough. I mean, at that point, I was, in there 5 months. So I still had 4.5 months to go, which I didn't know at that time. But yeah, I'm like, mm-mm. Imagine laying on your back for 10.5 months and you can't move. You can't do anything. It's hard.
Man.
For Mothership that's wanting Ivory's email to send her a case, it's ivoryroseknows@gmail.com. ivoryroseknows@gmail.com.
Oh, and I saw a comment earlier that said that her insurance denied her treatment. And
Really?
just for anyone, I'm not sure how true that is, but for anyone that's watching and desperately needs help, uh, medical bills don't go on your credit.
Right. That's
So,
true. That's very true.
so if you need the help, tell them you will be a self-pay, let it go to collections if you need to, and
A
get the
Yeah,
lot of
help
this,
you
hospitals
need
also have
because you
charities
matter
there.
more than any debt you can accumulate.
you're right.
Yeah,
It doesn't go towards your credit history. Thank God. I don't
yeah.
know if that's in every state, but I mean, I know in mine it is.
Here
Hmm.
in Oklahoma, they do put it on your credit.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, at that
Wow.
point, though, again, you can fix a credit. You can't bring you back if something happens.
Right.
So, I know a lot of hospitals have charity cares where you can go and they have people who are willing to donate and that will help you get bills paid. There's always an option there. Money, listen, bills and stuff like that can be taken care of later. Mental health is really a priority, and we need to work on the resources.
Right.
It's bad. It is really just so sad and frustrating. So, what do you guys think about the forgiveness, though. Like you asked me yesterday, she said, do you believe that Patrick Clancy really forgives her? There's no way.
I don't feel that he does. I kind of I know that he loves her. And he might say that he forgives her. I don't think anybody could ever forgive somebody for killing their children, but I think at this time he's going to have to say what he has to say because of this lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just my opinion. Um, Otherwise, if it wasn't for the lawsuit, I kind of wonder how it would go. Does that make sense?
I mean, even if he went either way with this lawsuit, he'd probably still win anyway.
No, because if he didn't agree that she was sick and that he witnessed this and he forgives her and it's not her fault.
Well, he could not agree on that, but he could still forgive her.
But in all fairness, though, he stated during the affidavit right at the hospital, he claimed everything he claimed in that lawsuit. He claimed that day at the hospital. We
Right.
just went over. He did state that at the hospital he was talking to friends. That wasn't the first time that ever came out that he said that. He was talking to friends during the situation. He was talking
Right.
about her having those kind of issues and the medications and all of that. So I don't think that really is the reason. Like
Right.
for Jamie, what would you need to see to think that this woman is like in your mind? Do you think that she faked it? Like, where is your mindset? I'm curious.
No, I'm kind of like, I need to see more. I mean, I'm stuck in the middle. I'm not saying that, I'm learning as I'm going along, listen to this,
Right.
what psychosis and what it entails and all that. And that helped me a lot. So, but just thinking about what you did to
So
those
like
babies.
if you weren't like thinking it was psychosis, what are you thinking? She just did it because she didn't want the kids? What is your secondary
Maybe
thought?
she couldn't handle the children. Like, that's the first time tonight I didn't know she had issues with the middle child. That's the first time I heard that. And then not being able to connect to the younger one and the stuff that she wrote in her journal. And it's like, I don't know if she regretted her children, or I can't say how she really felt on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you think that it's possible that the whole year of medical seeking treatment was a lie planned for a year?
No, 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 no. I don't think, I mean, like I said, I have to see more, but I mean,
Right.
I don't think her medical treatment or everything, you could see that she's trying to get help for herself. And my view, I think she just didn't know where to turn, but she really didn't have people around her to support her in that sense, to guide her in where to go or how to. There had to be
You
a way
know,
somehow. You know what I
you
mean?
know,
There had to be.
I was thinking that too when we just read
Ivory,
what we read. Yes.
I'm going to go to bed now because it's 10 to 5. How do I switch off here?
Night, baby
Um,
D.
I
Night.
can
So
kick
you
you.
click on your picture, baby D, and it'll give you the
Yeah,
option to leave.
Thank you, baby D, for coming up
Have a
here.
good night, hon.
you're welcome.
Night, baby
Night.
D.
What was I just saying now?
And
Oh,
I'm
when
actually
I don't
going to
know. I
finish up
mean,
my laundry
I'm
and then
not
head
gonna
to
say
bed.
that he don't
But I
forgive her.
really
I just know
appreciate you
me
guys listening
personally.
to me and
I
everything.
Wait a
I
minute.
could.
Hold on.
Oh,
Somebody's
thank you,
sorry.
talking.
Brooke. It's Brooke.
Who's
She's just saying
talking?
she's got to go do some stuff,
Me?
Brooke. So she's going to leave us. But thank you, Brooke, so much for coming up here. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it so
Oh,
much.
I think she's kind of going in and out there. I heard two people talking at once.
So we were just talking, like the thing we just read, the affidavit that we just read that you missed, Jamie, because we thought you were getting the 911 call and you failed us. You didn't force them to,
She had to
play
sneak
it.
that in there. Hey, I tried.
Um,
Look how long I tried. It's just not out yet. There's nothing I can do about that.
but the husband mentions and the
What are you
friend
talking
mentions
about?
that, huh?
What?
That I was just saying that, like
Okay,
during
is
what we
Ivory
just read,
talking? Because if she is, I can't hear.
She got a
yes,
delay or something. I don't know what she has. I can hear her
I,
talking, you talking.
do I? Hold on, can y'all hear me now?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Shishat?
I guess not.
I see Ivory lit up, but I don't hear anything.
Tell her to go
Oh.
back out. Wait a minute. Where's the chat? How do you write in the chats? Tell her to go out and back in.
You
Oh,
can't.
hold on.
Here, I will on YouTube.
It's so funny. Hold on.
Oh,
I
she
don't.
must have. Well, she must have heard me.
Can you hear? Ask her if she can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so you can't hear Ivory.
Mm-mm.
Ivory, it's your problem.
Have her come back. Have her drop and come back up. I'll
All
drop.
right,
I'll
she
redrop.
said drop and come back up.
Who, me?
Yes.
Okay.
That's so funny.
I was like hearing echoes and two people talking at once, and I'm like, what's going on?
I was like, I was hearing Brooke talk, and then I'm hearing Shisha talk. I'm like, did they not hear each other? All right, Shisha, I just stuck it on in there for you. That's so funny. But yeah, we were just reading the affidavit, and in the affidavit it stated that she, she had like these little Facebook groups that she was going to for, you know, some kind of help or, chit chat or whatever. But and that her family had come to visit, like actually right before this happened, but that she didn't really have friends. And I feel like that just relates back to the anxiety. A lot of people with anxiety don't, they have that public anxiety. They don't want to be around people, or you know what I
Right.
mean? I'm wondering if the reason she didn't have the friends was because of the anxiety, or like was they new to the air? Like why didn't she have anybody? Like why didn't she have
Yeah,
a
or
friend?
did she have any other like family members, brothers, sisters? I didn't hear any of that, so I don't know if
But
she
she
does.
did. In the affidavit, they mentioned that there's a friend Sue that she was, I guess, having emails and talks with. And they didn't know who Sue was. And actually, let me pull up the letter that Canceled sent me. Hold on. It's a letter that she wrote her friend. Let me pull this up. Give me 1 second. If I can find it.
Yeah, I just think there's so much more to learn that I'm just not there. Like when I heard tonight that 3 months prior she was planning to get rid of her kids. I mean, she didn't mention herself; her kids.
Who said that she was planning 3 months prior?
It was in her journal. So, in what was it, October 3rd or something? She wrote in her
Oh, okay,
journal.
that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm saying, oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute, that's why I was asking how long does psychosis last. So it's like confusing to me because I'm like, oh, was she really planning this? Obviously, she did plan it.
There's no one size fits all. You can, yeah, you can come in and out of it. It can stay for a long time. It can, here she said. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you. I just came on my iPad through
Sam?
YT instead of Facebook.
Oh, I got you. Sam sent me a letter from her friend, not Sam's friend, but Lindsay, a letter that Lindsay wrote her friend. I
Uh-huh.
just gotta find it. Give me 1 second. And this was during the situation. And again, like she seemed normal when she wasn't. You know what I mean? So it was really like interesting to, let me see, is this it? No, hold on.
And I even heard her own lawyer, one of the things I was watching tonight, her own lawyer was saying, yes, obviously she planned it, but we have to say that she was, bipolar and in psychosis. So that throws a different deal into it, but because they really can't deny that she didn't plan it.
No, and yeah, it's obvious, but just because you planned it doesn't mean you're not psychotic. And I think that's where everything is falling.
Yeah, and so they have to prove, okay, let's run this down and see how she got where she got, where she landed up. But I mean,
Okay,
it's
can
just
you
so
guys see
sad.
it? All right, can you all see that? I can't make it any bigger, but it's to her friend Brittany after Brittany had a baby. So this is from Lindsay. This is a handwritten note to Brittany from Lindsay. The biggest congratulations on your sweet baby boy. Get ready for the wildest ride of your life, motherhood. It is the most profoundly challenging yet deeply fulfilling experience you will ever have. You're about to embark on a journey with the highest highs, the lowest lows, the joy, the pain, and everything in between. Everyone will have advice for you and an opinion. Take what you like, ignore what you don't, and do what works for you and your family. There really aren't any rights or wrongs when it comes to parenting. It is an art, not a science. There is no exact recipe for how to do it, and they don't come with a set of instructions. Your baby is a unique individual, so what works for others may or may not work for you. At the end of the day, trust your instincts and love your baby. Know that everything is a phase. When things get tough, know that the phase will pass, and before you know it, you will be on to a new phase. Enjoy the fun, precious, joyous moments because there are so many of those too. You will naturally take beautiful care of your baby, but always remember to also take care of yourself and your relationship with Cole as well. Motherhood can be all consuming if you let it be. Let yourself let yourself delve deep into it, but also take the time to come up for air and remember who you were before you became a mother. I am unbelievably happy for you and always here for you. Love, Lindsay. That's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
And let me see when she
I
wrote
think
that.
there's like little bits and pieces in there on how she was feeling, but I mean, it is. I mean, and like it's true. Your kids, when you have a kid, it doesn't come with a handbook, but I mean, most mothers have that instinct, you know. And there
Yeah,
are a few out there that just don't. They just don't have it. It's like they can't connect with their child. But I mean, but majority of people, you know, that instinct kicks in once you have a child.
yeah,
You know, and you learn what's right and what's wrong and what, you know, as you go along, you know, that's life. But I mean, it is true. I mean, you go through good times, bad times. Same thing in marriages. Same thing. You know, I mean, nothing's hunky dory 24 hours a day. Um, no way. But you know,
yeah. I don't
Mhm.
know. I
you know,
my
your marriage is like a job. You know, you just can't ignore it. And same thing with your children. You know, you have to find that
it's all the
balance.
jobs. That's the truth, right? Don't women we have just all the jobs. And
Yes.
then
Yeah.
the job on top of the jobs. It's just, yeah.
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 It's a lot. And I feel like, I don't know. I mean, look at the condition she ended up in too. I mean, she's paralyzed. She definitely, it's just such a sad to be in that state of mind. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure to her, she probably wished that she died instead of being in the state that she is in now.
Yeah, I think in fact, weren't they saying like she's still suicidal? She still wants to die as of recently?
Oh, I don't know if I heard that. I know that her husband said that she misses the kids, so he must still talk
Oh,
with her.
oh my goodness. Can you like, oh my gosh. To realize you did what you did, which was this. It's just that's wild. I like this live better than TikTok. Do you, Michelle? I kind of feel like it's a little bit more personal too. Do you guys feel like it's a little more personal like this?
Yeah, I just didn't know. I just don't know what to say on here. I don't know if they have restrictions on words or what. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess we'll soon find out.
I li-
But nobody's reported me yet, so there's that.
I like it.
So
The only that I'm finding different about it is you can't like reply to the chat without getting knocked out.
yeah, I don't know how to do that.
I don't know.
That
I
is,
don't see the chat at all. I can't see it.
you
Well, I
don't. So I don't know how to do that.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's a button on the bottom.
be careful, it's gonna knock you out.
Chat
That's
with everybody in the studio.
that's why I have it.
Oh, Matt, here you go. I'll put this up there for you because this one's to you, Jamie.
Oh, Loopy made it.
Am I still
Yeah.
here? Am I still here?
You're still here, Jamie.
See, I went in the chat, put something in the chat, and here I am. So you just press that little chat button on the bottom if you want to communicate with the chat.
And you can see the chat?
Yeah, but
No, I
but you
can't
can-
see it, but it lets you say something if you want to say something. I don't see it.
Yeah, you can't see it. It'll only let you say something.
I can
Now
see
I
it real tiny on your screen, but I can't see what's being said. It's too tiny.
Yeah, I
But
don't know how to make that big.
I know that people can do it. I just don't know how.
Jamie.
Did I just make us big or what just happened? I don't know what just
That's
happened
not
there.
YT. That's from Facebook.
No, you're far away. You sound like you're far away.
Can you hear me better now?
No.
Oh, well, I'm on my iPad. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. You're a little closer.
There.
Can you see it now?
Can I see the chat now? No.
Oh, I can make it bigger. Oh, duh. Hold on.
You know how
now,
you do it just being underneath?
so now, can you see it now? Where'd Jamie go?
I told her. I told her she kept jacking
That's
around.
so funny. So can you see it now that I made it big?
Yeah, so I can see that chat, but that chat that you're showing is from Facebook.
No,
Right.
there's YT in here. It's both of them.
Oh, okay. So the other one, okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
can
see
see.
the red. Yavi, you're on Yavi right there where it says Yavi. She's on YouTube, and Michelle Loopy is on Facebook.
Oh, so it's putting both of them together.
Yeah, it just combines the two streams together.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Awesome.
Yep. So
I
yeah,
was like
maybe.
Facebook through my phone, but then I had YT pulled up on here so I could chat in the YT comments. But to see the Facebook comments, I was having to look over on the phone. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
That's so funny. I'm not gonna lie, neither this is a learning process for me too, but I don't know, I kind of like this live. It's easier for me to stream too, to show things.
Right.
So
Like when, not to bring anybody else up or any other creators or anything, but like when Morbid goes live, I wonder if you're up in his panel, is it the same way as it is right now? Because
yeah,
when you the chat, you see everybody in the panel and you have the big chat.
yeah. Yes, it's the same thing. My chat just isn't as crazy as his, but yes, it's the
Well,
same concept. You guys can see it the same way, right?
because
Yep.
this is
Right.
the
Blue
first
is
I've ever been on a live in YT or on Facebook.
really well. That's it. Well, we all know this is my first YT. I mean Facebook. Yeah, this is my first extravaganza over there on Facebook. YT I've done before though. I've done lives on YT through
I knew you,
StreamYard.
yeah.
I just feel
Well,
like it's easier. Everybody can get in from everywhere. Some people don't want to have one app. I do want to try and connect the StreamYard to TikTok. However, I need a stream key, so I'm working on that.
so now on my iPad, well, and it was doing it on Facebook too. It was it's got that Lindsay Clancy case and it says log in. Is that StreamYard with that little blue duck?
Yes, the little blue duck is StreamYard. It's a green
Oh,
duck, I think, but yes, the little duck is StreamYard.
okay. So I would have to have an account.
For StreamYard?
Yeah.
To do what?
Well, I don't know. Do I even need it? I don't know.
Are you talking about to go live on your own on StreamYard?
Is that what you have to use in order to go live?
So we're using StreamYard to stream to two platforms.
Oh, for the love of God.
So we're not in either app. We're not on Facebook or we're not on YouTube right now. We're actually in StreamYard. StreamYard is taking this live and it's showing it to both platforms.
Oh, okay. So since we're just talking now and not really talking about the case and people's asking if you're going to be streaming tomorrow.
You're breaking up.
Can you hear me now? Where's the mic at on the iPad? Can you hear me?
I can hear a little bit. You're breaking up.
What happened?
Maybe that's because Jamie
It
was.
kicked you, Jamie.
It kicked me or something. I don't know what happened.
Exactly what she said was going to happen happened.
What?
You got
Okay.
booted.
I
Can you
did.
can you hear me now that Jamie's up in the box?
I can hear you better. Yeah.
Okay. So in the morning before you go live on TikTok to stream it, if you do that, you need a picture of Lindsay Clancy
Uh
to,
huh.
and you put that up as your green screen. So then you can stream where you can hear it and it'll show like people in there from the courtroom.
Yep.
You won't get hit.
Yes. So we could do that. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. I'll stream on all three.
Okay.
Facebook, YouTube, and then TikTok. I'll
Now,
do
if
through
you
my
stream,
phone and just keep the audio going.
if you stream from IT, I can watch you from work. I'll put you on the TV and all the clients can listen to you too.
That's so funny. That's so funny. But yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I really want him to talk tomorrow. So now he's preparing to speak, Jamie. They got all of their jurors, everything's ready with the jury.
That's what they said today. I mean, they said he would be the first one on. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what time, but usually when they doing their major cases for the day, it's usually not until after 11, my time anyways. I think we're on the same time thing, but because before that they're doing, they're talking about what's going on in other cases in between.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just keep an eye out. If you see it though, let me
I'll
know.
send you a text when it's on. When it
All
comes
right,
on.
this way I'm not missing it just in case. But yeah. So I'm super excited to hear what he has to say. I really hope that he does talk tomorrow because I don't want to sit and listen to a whole bunch of court nonsense.
Yeah, I was thinking that they wouldn't put him on until the end, so I was shocked when they said he's going to be the first one.
Yeah, they're coming out with, and he's speaking for the prosecution, or the prosecution goes first, right?
I think so. I'm not sure on that one.
First, and then the defense defends the prosecution, right? Is that how it goes? So yeah, he's probably because I know he's on there for both the prosecution and the defense as a witness.
Right.
So we might hear from him more than I mean. Well, no, because they were just. This is going to be interesting, though.
Yeah, it is. I'm really interested to see his frame of mind, about this whole thing. And
now they were saying that they had 200 witnesses on the defense has 200 names on their witness list. 200, close to 200. Who the hell are you saying? But I'm curious, like didn't the mother-in-law reach out to the women's postpartum behavioral health or whatever to get her help? Like, I want to hear from that woman. I'm really curious to see this nurse and doctor on the stand to see what they have to say. But I do know that they had 5 witnesses that they were going to call like expert witnesses, doctors, nurses, forensic, like psychologists and stuff like that.
No, I heard today that they would play the 911 call, but I don't know how many days he's going to be on the stand, if they'll actually play it tomorrow or the next day. But I guess they were trying to get that out too. The defense was trying to get that not being played, and judge said, nope, playing it.
I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, I've never heard it, so I'm curious to hear
From
it.
what I understand, and I hear these other people, I don't know if it was lawyer, some lady that was a lawyer that I heard on YouTube. I guess she's been following this case since day one, and she said that she heard the call, and she said just to listen to him when he found his children is going to be a lot to listen to.
I'm sure. And I know you can hear her. Couldn't you hear her say on the call, or again, I didn't hear the call. I'm just going by all I have is what people are talking about. But I think on the call, you can hear her say the kids are in the basement. And then not that they're dead in the basement, but just that the kids were in the basement. And then he goes and they're laying there on the floor. and he doesn't realize why they're not answering him back, and it takes him a minute to realize they're gone. Like that the trauma these people, all of them, herself included, like the trauma all of these people went through, the children
Now,
that were
obviously, you got to understand he wasn't thinking in his right mind because at this point it's a crime scene. You shouldn't touch nothing. But all he cared about is trying to save his babies. He was taking the things around their necks off their necks.
oh my gosh, yeah. I can't again, you have to be some kind of not with it to be able to strangle
I
babies.
know
Like
two were in one room and and the baby was in another. And they said that they can tell in the order in which she, murdered them. So, but maybe she was tired during the last one. They're thinking because that she tied it in a knot. And the other
maybe.
two, she didn't tie in a knot. The other two, she said it was kind of like you
Well,
would tie
I
your
mean, think
shoes.
about it.
You could
You
get it
can't,
undone if you needed to, right?
right. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, the baby really can't untie the knot, so you didn't really have to hold it for as long as you did the other two.
Oh, so sad. So
That's
sad.
it is. So Mothership, you heard the call before? How did you hear the call?
Yeah, they haven't released it yet.
Where did you hear it? A long time ago? Did it maybe come out on the news, or like you know how mainstream media gets it and they took it out?
Yeah, because of now they're not letting anybody. I mean, unless, like you said, on the local news where it happened, maybe.
Yeah, someone might have got it and then they closed it up and sealed it. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely possible, but we know what he said on the thing because we heard them with the paperwork that we showed before.
Right.
Uh, that I'll send to you, Jamie, so you have it
All right. Thanks.
this way because I know you missed us going through it. But yeah, it's a lot. Like it had where they were talking to Patrick at the hospital, the condition of the babies, how he was talking to the friend and the conversation because they interviewed the friend, Pat's friend, about what he was telling them that she was going through. And it was conversation amongst them that there was something not right with her. So it's really interesting to read it and see that, I mean, it wasn't a secret, right? People knew about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people knew about it, and people just, I don't know if it's just what do you do? What do you say? It's kind of an awkward, like, if we're friends and you're telling me that, your significant other is, like having these mental health problems, like I'm going to be careful where I tread as your friend because I don't want to overstep or say something that you may take as insulting or so it's like and again there's just that stigma everywhere like around the whole situation because it's not something you can really talk freely to with each other with people. People, it scares them.
But I guess, well, like any person, any normal person would think, that's not the first thing that would come to your mind. Oh, this woman's going to kill her children. You know.
I feel like I don't know if it's just because we talk about true crime and we've seen this so many times, the red flags, the same situation,
Right.
just different. I feel like for us, we would, right? How many of us want to be like, how are you not seeing the red flags? But
Right.
for
Right.
people who don't talk about postpartum depression, maybe aren't females and don't understand it the way it's jammed down our throats as women who've had children, or even like in the true crime like world,
Right.
because
Right.
we see it so much. Maybe it's not like I don't know
Yeah,
because I
you
feel
want
like
to think that they did, but no, we're so used to doing this and hearing this, and for them, it's probably was like, that's my friends, him and his family. I don't want to get too involved, but maybe they were worried about her and probably just didn't know what to do. You'd be surprised a lot of people don't know what to do in those type of situations.
yeah, yeah, I
People
agree.
freeze up sometimes and they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be hard, but I am interested in seeing this tomorrow. I'm going to go and I'm going to get some sleep. It's getting a little bit late here. And I got to
Yeah.
be up for court tomorrow. Jamie, we're going to be up and ready for court in the morning.
Yes, we are.
She shed. We'll
Yes,
keep you updated. Everybody in the chat will keep you all updated.
you better.
So, yeah, I'm going to hit the hay for court in the morning.
All
What
right.
case was the last one that I was on for court? Oh, the Karen Reed. Man, I was showing up for court every day with that Karen Reed trial. My husband's like,
Oh my
you're gonna
God, both trials I was. Oh my God. And I have a feeling with this one, I don't think the first trial, she's going to end up going for a second one. I just have that feeling.
You think so? I don't know. I don't think I see them finding her guilty. There's going to be one person who understands it. I don't know, but we shall see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
shall
night,
see.
ladies, until
Thank
tomorrow.
you, everybody. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for coming up.
Thank you, even though I can't see you in the chat. Have a good night.
Night,
Good
everybody.
night, guys. All right, how do we end this? All right, hold on.
I don't know. How do we?
Am I still here? I still